In 1976, Dr. Carter G. Woodson organized and celebrated an opportunity for us to do something in this country that we had not done prior to that. And that is celebrate the history of African Americans. Not so sure why February was chosen, Mr. Speaker, because it is kind of the shortest month. And when you think about the history of Black people in America, you realize that Black people in America is American history. And it's very difficult to put all of that into 1 month. But some African American pioneers and their many accomplishments, all of which took place throughout the course of history, and some of these that happened just in the month of February, which is kind of sort of why they selected this month, was John Swett Rock. He was a noted Boston lawyer who became the first African American admitted to the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives. Or Jonathan Jasper Wright, the first African American to hold a major judicial position, who was elected to the South Carolina Supreme Court on February 1st, 1870. President Abraham Lincoln submits the proposal for the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution to the states for ratification on February 1st, 1865. Civil rights protester Jimmy Lee Jackson dies from wounds inflicted during the protest on February 26, 1965. Mr. Speaker, there are several other dates in February for which we could acclaim the history of Black people in America. But if we peruse the history books, Mr. Speaker, we'll find a day like this on every day in America. And so, since it has been decided that we're going to celebrate this phenomenal history of a phenomenal people in the month of February, Mr. Speaker, we recognize and pay acknowledgments to all the contributions made by African Americans across this great country and across the great state of New York. This legislative body commends the community for preserving for future generations its century-old traditions that benefit us all and add color and beauty to the tapestry for which the American society is made up of. This legislative body should pause in its deliberations to memorialize February 2019 as Black History Month in the state of New York. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.